A very good, happy Monday morning to everyone out there. Landon here in the driver's seat with you to bring you your latest weather or night forecast, courtesy of On Target. Hope you all had a fantastic Father's Day weekend. A little bit damp at times, and unfortunately, folks, we're going to be continuing with a active weather pattern throughout the vast majority of the new work week as well. The local National Weather Service office has already issued a flood watch that includes the entirety of the Wobbles community. That's going to be valid for this afternoon all the way through very early on Thursday morning. Got some slow-moving cells that are expected to develop. We could be receiving copious amounts of rainfall out of this, thus resulting in the flash flood watch that has been issued here across the region. Let's jump right into it. We have got this stationary front that's outlined and cutting west to east right across the heart of the great Commonwealth of Kentucky. You can already see we got some batches of showers and storms. It's moving right along this boundary, and this is going to continue to be the weather story throughout the day, folks, especially as we work into the peak heating of this afternoon on into this evening. This is whenever we're expecting the activity to become maximized, but all these cells are expected to develop right along and south of this front and then meander slowly off to the east-northeast, setting up the possibility of some training cells that could result in the flooding here across the region. All right, we'll get more into that here in just a moment. Let's get a current look here across the region. We did have some dense fog overlooking the Morgantown Skycam there a short time ago. Looking over the Barren River Lake Cam as well, they were completely socked in. The dense fog has started to lift out. You can see it there on the horizon, though, moving out of the Morgantown early this morning. Those of you in and around those areas, please be aware with low visibility for your early morning commute. Taking a look over the D93 Skycam, showcasing the uptick in cloud cover that's already increasing out there. Partly to mostly cloudy throughout the day, folks, with the rounds of showers and storms that are going to be impacting the region. All right, take a look over here. Let's give you the breakdown of our current conditions. We have already got temperatures and dew points hanging out right around the 70-degree mark. We're going to continue with this tropical-like air mass across the region. It's going to feel more like a rainforest out there through at least the first half of the week. This is going to serve as the foundation of the multiple rounds of showers and storms we're expecting to suffer through here. Again, throughout a good portion of this week, beginning today and lasting at least through Thursday, it would appear. So let's jump over here and let's give you the breakdown of what we're looking at. Here we are looking at the short-term model guidance taking us throughout today on into tonight. All right, so here we are working throughout this morning. We got a few cells that are developing out there, but here we are working into the afternoon, and you can see the very quick development of these showers and storms right along and south of that front that we were looking at there a short time ago. These things are going to develop and lift slowly but surely off to the north and east. And you can see, folks, how we have these training lines of cells that's going to try to develop to the west and then crawl off to the north and east, impacting portions of the same region. So the areas that get set up with these training cells right over them, that's who's going to see the flooding concerns. I don't think everyone across the region is going to get in on the flooding, but it will be present and it will be available out there with very, very efficient rain producers slated here as we work throughout today, on in throughout the overnight. And folks, we're looking at model guidance valid for 10 p.m., so this could be continuing through midnight, even into a portion of the pre-dawn hours of our Tuesday morning. What makes this setup so dangerous in regards to flooding is the amount of moisture that's going to be packed within our atmosphere, all right? We're looking at precipitable water values already up on the magnitude of 1 3/4 inches. That is very impressive, but folks, wait. Take a look as we work into the peak heating of this afternoon on into this evening, and you can blatantly see why we have that flash flood watch in place. We have got precipitable water values here on the short-term model guidance spitting out 2 to 2.5 inches. That's absolutely insane values. And folks, precipitable water is if you were to take the column of air and wring it out, that's how much rainfall you will get. So our atmosphere is going to be absolutely jam-packed with moisture. That's why we keep referencing the rainforest-like feel that we're going to be dealing with in the great outdoors. We're going to have dew points up between the low and mid 70s, temperatures up between the low and mid 80s. It is not going to feel too nice in the great outdoors at all. We keep the precipitable waters around all the way through this afternoon, all the way throughout the overnight, and you can see way back here on the back edge of this isn't going to be making its way out of here, folks, until we work into Tuesday night or even into Wednesday. Then we got another cold front that's going to be blasting through here, bringing the opportunity of strong and severe storm chances along with it. Speaking of that, let's go ahead and let's look at that surface setup as we work throughout the day on Wednesday. Whenever we get into Wednesday afternoon, into Wednesday night, the setup of this cold front blasting through here, serving as our lifting mechanism. We got the deep, warm, moist air that's going to continue to be punched up here out of the deep south. We're going to have gusty southwest winds at 15 to 30 miles an hour at times. Going to prime up our atmosphere, folks. We'll be keeping close eyes on this, as we could have a mesoscale convective system. We could have a storm complex develop right ahead of that, bringing a primarily damaging wind concern, maybe some large hail along with that. We'll have to wait till we get a little bit closer to time until we know exactly what's going to be in store for us with this one, all right? But we'll put it into motion. Cold front slides through here. Look at that bowing line of storms coming right through the heart of our vicinity as we work into Wednesday evening. And then we wake up on Thursday morning, folks, and we're going to have some moisture lingering on the backside of that front. We might get a little bit of overstay in the welcome department for those rain and storm chances even into our Thursday. But folks, after that passes, we're going to be looking at an upper level ridge trying to build in here. High pressure out of the south and east. We're going to be looking at a major warm-up going into Friday and into the weekend that follows. Folks, we're going to be looking at a run at the low to mid 90s. A few of us might even touch the upper 90s by the time we finish out the weekend. That remains to be seen, folks. But this setup with high pressure right here, tightening pressure gradient's going to keep those strong southwest winds. Going to feel like a hair dryer out there as we work throughout Friday and on into the weekend to follow for us, okay? So as we had previously mentioned, talked about, and discussed, we have got a flash flood watch that is intact for us. As you can see right here, this is valid from 10 a.m. today all the way through midnight on Tuesday morning. They will be coming along with that. And also, we're keeping eyes on the Wednesday afternoon into the early Thursday morning time frame. We do have the entirety of the region in a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather risk, but the level 2 out of 5 in the yellow coloration. Getting very close to us, folks. Won't be surprised at all to see that expanded to include our region. Folks, take a look at the total rainfall amounts here. We're talking about anywhere from 1 to 2 to perhaps even upwards of 4 inches of total rainfall coming along with this very active pattern. It is worth noting, folks, and while we are underneath the flash flood watch, this from mid-morning all the way through early Tuesday morning, we could see some localized areas get 2 to 4 inches today into tonight. That's why the flash flood watch is out there. So it's worth taking note of and being aware of that. Short term, we're worried about the flooding. Then we get into our Wednesday, we'll be looking at a strong and severe threat that'll take over our primary concerns regarding that. Here's a full breakdown of your next 6-day weather forecast. Showers and storms plague the outlook today, tomorrow, on into Wednesday, even into Thursday as well. Going to be hanging out right around the mid and upper 80s for highs during this time frame. Flood watch out this afternoon into tonight. Then we get strong and severe storm chances on Wednesday. The lingering showers will finally get out of here, folks, by Thursday afternoon. And then we open up the door to that summer-like pattern. It's going to be hot. It's going to be windy. It's going to be humid. But it is going to be dry, it would appear. We got temperatures right around the mid and upper 80s on Friday. Right around the mid-90s Saturday. We could be creeping upwards of the mid and upper 90s Sunday into Monday of the new work week. Friends, it's going to wrap up your Monday morning weather or not forecast presented by On Target. You all take care of yourselves and each other. Don't forget the rain gear before you head out the door. Stay weather where, with our flooding concern on the table, as we'll be updating as necessary